The Tale of Genji, Maiden, Murasaki Shikibu. Wild Goose not only won first love away from the guys. Each of the boy, Akiko. Only is your first anniversary of the Woman Council in the spring. Because the government who has become the changing period of April following the took off the morning, was the early summer was over full of gorgeous air. Before Seiya and still it became come send a lonely Sirezure day. Young wives also to smell the young leaves of the garden of the Katsura trees put up as wanted love to be the time of the festival of the hospital of Kamo in your tenure of the temple. From Genji, is also just now the day of your purification ceremony of God has come to use with a greeting that would be your quiet. I thought such a thing today. The haggard Kakeki as the wave also stood her helicopter kun of Kawase of Fuji of your Misogi. Letter in the form of correct Tatsubin wrote in purple paper had been attached to the branches of the wisteria. The Seiya is Monono made to have us a little bit in the day like shims to learn. It has become ripe your reply. The Fujikuro Moshore Nika Sara Spring World of Purification ceremony today between Omu yesterday. It seems that ephemeral thing. The letter only are written as Genji as in the example had been eagerly watched. Say and even when it is a done in your clothes repair of morning of Chichimia. Came much of the gift from Genji. Although the queen became come to say so on it is to become accepted it is ugly. But can also decline if it has been accompanied by words as a suitor. Something for a long time up to now Genji. Which continue to send avert Shinmatsu in the case of wives were in trouble say no way of return since it is possible to from kindness. Because was Genji to the start and end substance to your auxiliary to something like this also. For the woman 5 of the temple. The temple became come love deeply Genji. And say you of Genji. But he always beautiful boy seems. I have finished differently to people of moderate even mind on beautiful is. Face to us to show kindness seems so adult. To become compliment you with. Young wife we were laughing. When you become the eye contact and west of the queen. Once was from the minister of Genji of Irasharo eagerly marriage is subscribed. I is not that nice. None in the first story now. I because you such much that before from. The house like that passed away to you say and when it is your will. I have Nasu, a disappointment in that marriage is no longer Sarah. When the previous Mia recommendation has Nasu, try to run it. That did not go of your damn. We're talking to as it is I that there was a well in line to speak to your regret stomach 1. But I from the time the temple like becomes Omo Itachi you do so I was needed the wife of Sadaijin house. Is done so Sanomiya is too bad Obo Shimeshi and I was hard to become and not pressed here a second. Marriage is that it? It's for the wife of you and your cousin has died. Do I think I wish I be so Nasu. On the other hand and it was because newly eagerly there is you sign up. I think it would be still well before production of the conventions. From sports such as the old-fashioned your recommendation. The queen became come and listened to a wry smile. Also grey because MIA that has been thought in such a stubborn person from the father. And to think I embarrassed that I do marriage afresh my name is because the voice name of the minister of Genji is high. Because became come to say so is not to something like this would also depend. The temple also at length did not become recommended. Although people of residence became come the queen is wary know that hope to everyone from top to bottom is so everyone. But Genji himself is waiting for the day that can move the queen in sincerity. Tooth if you do not want things like achieve the marriage and force have had to respect the feelings of the queen. I've been prepared to raise the late Daijo Daijin who was born the formula of the ceremony of attaining manhood of Wakagami of Genji. Genji but was I think want to take place in the hospital of the 2 articles. Grandmother of the house is Obo Shimeshi to want to be on the look but most. Such a thing as feel sorry seems. Was the expression in the still house of palace became you brought up until now. Since the uncle started the right general you guys was the people with power have become all fine. Kenkon. was Obita Dashika. Also congratulation goods, other gifts from maternal relatives. For some time it became more ornate celebrations become commotion of Kyoto throughout. It beginning from was that had also expect Genji tries to fourth place. But the public also had seen so. The still very small child. To such a Tori Hikarai, a time when everything becomes as of my own will. Now that we have the feeling that is to the laity. Genji it is stopped to give a 4 position eldest son. Had dressed Boric of 6th place of Asagi. Omiya is able to become your Tanki. This to be egregious was too bad to think in your reason. Genji was a story in its issue to the your visit to the temple. But it seems there is no need to try to put to bother low place now. And you feel that I have to think of it. There is I think try and stepped on the course of the university. And the past 2-3 years still ceremony of attaining manhood previous considers it is proposed that intends. Yokero have, if measure become a human being be fit for the patronage of the imperial court it is proposed that. To go to the career naturally. I grew up in court. There having been educated in sight without knowing the world you because. I smoke that will become His Majesty your own nurse. Also hard work diligence because I do not experience the or feel the lack of sophistication also that you make a poem sound less than even I do music has decided or keenly aware such feelings. If a child moss up to the parent, not boring is I think that there is no so can as we keep left naturally. Let alone if now grandson below, and appear to anxiety and what happens from it must not. You will find then dispose of the case. Is born a child of the aristocracy. It proceeds to the left of thoughts Kanshaku. Is now a young man was conceded to the force of self. I do or suffer themselves. Such as in academic massu it would seem to surely ridiculous that, while not immersed in the play events, even if there are things like only go up soons in place, while they're of dominance at home, follow up while the ridicule in mind was moved from us with a my rock bottom is people. Seen little but let's look to it with a fine. When was Toga Shini Wakareru Toga to fall the power of the house? The parents have been contempt from the people also. You will know Shino Tokoro no miserable person. Still learning well there is a first to use it harnessed how the Japanese soul exists and can be if there is a basis of academic you. And I saw just now at hand do not have only 6th place. Even if we do the mind not rely. Sprouting you have received a pillar serving as education of the future of the nation. Also think whether to be able to my peace of mind until after death. But for now place anyway because I think that would not be a person pointing at the distress was a college student. Quote, and the Genji to say at the house which remains to come to hear while sported Tansoku. But I think that it is your most talk. Then you shy suspicious that it is your choice has changed too. Such is the right general. It also children. Seems a shame. Son of. Such is general and same in supervision. Lower than their own to rank and it was of those who look down as things we will proceed to the top. On to everyone. It because there is who think painful to not must be wearing Boric of Asagi. I did it from a poor. To become your say. Either than have a grudge against adultish father. What about is such a small person? Genji had seen the child and Fu think the unexpected must cute. You're welcome academic, etc. If you have to be able of understanding of things. The resentment also would smitten lost in nature. I had to say, type get with a letter from the teacher of Wakagami is supposed to be in the east of the hospital. It has been disposed of as a ceremony in the east of the hospital. Officials are all those who are often the gentlemen this expression once rarity. Doctor Who is likely to be delayed care once better is sunny. Please do it strictly to the theorem as expected without the refrain. Because it was said from the Genjian. To show the by force calm attitude. Without shame even the unexpected fit to wear costumes borrowed. Countenance. To show the vanity of scholars to voice diction. Side by side all the way to the seat it was woefully odd with. such as young officials as Fu not be suppressed laughter. And this is not Fu easy to laugh. Calm person is up had been chosen roll of liquor bottles, all of which are quirky. Right general. Sprinkles gold and such people part lord does not match the manners also saw that recommenda. Carefully cup. Not my best regards to your entertainment combination is too many. Yeah, that was wrong. Would you like to serve you to the court without knowing me? In the academic world of today, if there is a person who begins to laugh not accumulate listening to say, such as, sounds high, may leave Oyami. I who lacked woefully Ray, please retire you a seat. Such as the Odos. Officials of the university is a good at likely smile. Wasser showing Fu was admired in that good education policy of Genji. A little scolding colleagues even if the story in front of their eyes. Guilty also not anything to say that rude. Face of scholars who are Ihana loudly that licentious appear to those even more ridiculous since I was Tomo is light at night. It is a strange meeting at all. Genji. Because those who know sloppy not be able to like your self-discipline will be routed rebuked by the clumsiness. To say that, I had seen hiding in the bamboo blind. In order to seat the ceremony is not enough. To hear of a college student that they are about to go back to come later. Genji was hospitality more separately from fishing hall of the people. Gifts were also. Genji also the doctor poet to try to excellence the expression decided to make a poem kept. Officials in palace circles officials also people with a talent of more that is was leaving. Everyone. Dr. Aslav poetry. Genji other people were making a speechless. Chosen by the sentence doctor interesting problem. Because there was a time of Tania. It was Ko's poem from dawn night completely. The left in the valve as was the role of the lecturer. The read aloud a poem seemed well felt in the tone of a beautiful man of the left in the valve as Kamisabi ponderous. This person is the doctoral with a particularly deep scholarship. Born in these large aristocratic house. Saku the people that should have also toying in splendor and praise to borrow a variety of parable. That aspire to academic laden with bitterness of keisetsu was interesting for each phrase. It was said to be the only poem of about want by the critics to show to China of people. Genji's was of course masterpiece. To say that the parent of information that I think a child has appeared well. Ladies who was shoshi while spilled all tears. Then also there was also expression of admission bit. And in the east of the hospital is the study room of Wakagimi provided. Genji was learned to put one person a serious scholar. Wakagimi were not much to go also to the place of Omiya. Night even if only in the day and Mikawaigari. Because forever palace to be the infant were to become in your treatment. Where authorized by Genji and would not be studying. Not put Wakagimi apart from the academic offices there. Month to sand only and may I say your visit to Omiya Genji is determined. The agony of starring are just muffled to the academic office. Wakagimi thought you're a Meshiku the Fukin. Terrible, but be an integral is serious personality. Because there was a boy with no kaicho of Tokoro. Well Shinobun is it to think that would not is not without people who are amons in the world with a career also do not suffer so. Read all only this. Not must be read as early somehow. Because I became very hard and want to go the way of Orimoto out to society to decent. 4 or book that such Shiji within 5 months I had read. The Genji and maybe let another take a test of the University of Thought. I decided to try once academic ability in front of its own before that. Examples of right general of the uncle. Shikibu, Daisuke. Inviting only such as the left in the valve, where difficult of interpretation in the Shiji commanded the large Nike tutor. Likely to be issued to the problem of Ryoshi here and there was the be read in Wakagimi. But Wakagimi was able to explain the meaning also read in several ways the place very clearly. Esoteric. Teacher of the Claw and Ishia saw that there is no need to put even one place. People were delighted that you were equipped to rich of genius to the academic to Wakagimi. Uncle is much less impressed. when the father of the Minister of Living is needed. I was crying saying, Genji also did not try to make a calm seal, drowning world of parents to love, but as such is no longer able to be a legitimate decision for the child. I have also seen, when we supposed to be of their own, it is a child becomes an adult, only the parent can edit unavoidable that's to go blur. Interpretation. I like as I still do not, but will still do so much of the year. Quote, teacher of Wakagimi didn't see that why tears while saying, such was glad. It's that I think was supposed to be an honor. General is countenance that Kashikoma, while drunk another deeply and refers to the cup was skinny. As pitiful, a man that is seen as eccentric. Academic significant position also not be obtained. The people were poor without any patron. Genji was invited to my son teacher if there is a place to see. Become a personal history that quickly to receive the patronage of Genji. It is to have obtained the happiness as reborn for Wakagimi. Future seemed to be would be to go as duty let alone in this now Wakagimi. The day Wakagimi to university is going to receive a Ryoshi. Car Kenkan and dormitory gate has stopped countless. To all the courtiers is a place lined flashy of attendants who think whether to come here today. Wakagimi came in while receiving a helper of people. Good beautiful of goods that can not even be seen with fellow college students I had a face. By that must be stuck in the seat at the end of the seat poor student with many examples. Wakagimi we were also the most likely to have the annoying look on her face. It was the unpleasant if there is one that read again or scold thing. Wakagimi received a test out proceed without okuseni. In prosper around the university if not as good as the era was a prosperous old academic. Because was out students from each class under the upper, middle, was only to graduates of people were finally equipped literate and insight. Since the test of literati and Nishing Wakagimi was through good grades. Also came to the enthusiastic their studies even more at encouragement disciple. By, for example, all the time poetry meetings at home of Genji is held. It seemed to come good at the age of Dr. in Bunshi. He is not recognized the excellent person anything of the road was a contemporary. Empress was supposed to be imperial investiture, but Nyogo of Saiku since it is those who have been commissioned by his mother. Was the Genji of attitude that must be recommended by all means this person is their own. After it has been needed in your queen mother also princess. Was also a person who had criticized and able to once again stand the later of Mr. Wong as that was polarized to one, because these people are people who Nyogo of Wadai and Hiroshi has entered the early concubines than anyone. Being promoted to after the person is to say also as a matter of course. A peer teammate to both. Nobody wanted anxiety and how to become. Those who my name is Lord of the Temple Hyobu is now made to become Shikibu sir. Also princess of the house to become a Kumbinamons as your maternal relative of the contemporary. Enter to the Seraglio on schedule. Of Saiku but with each other to samurai in the same king Nyogo and Nyogo. The method comprising. There is also a dark your relatives not in the others. To be erected and later as your place of the queen mother as in will be a reasonable treatment. Aid in the better people say. But it became a competition of the three Nyogo. Eventually Umetsubo before Saiku has become now you're on later. Good luck in the world of the queen was surprised. Genji is turned Daijo Daijin. Right Gen. Became Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal. And the work of Kanpaka Genji was ceded to this person. This person is a strong fine politician of the notion of justice. Because it is deeply human academic lost in the play of the closing rhyme but was clever to handle. Official business. The son was born from several people of the belly there about 10 people. But had just as promoted one after another has become an official as an adult. A woman is not from one person to another Nyogo. In person it was born from the princess of the prince family. Although noble thing is not as good as a child of Dichi. The mother could now have become the wife of Anchayu's Dainigan. And now the good people that you subjected to take care of the stepfather in you are born. Several people or of children in between is said to be poor. The minister had been to entrust you a princess Inomi of my mother Kun out anyway. Minister, but is not love never this daughter is enough to love the Nyogo. Nature also appearance was also a beautiful girl. Although this person in such mean and Wakagimi of Genji was grown in the same house. Time from beyond the 10-year-old both is located in a different place. Unless the precaution is to men, no matter how close people in the grave, that the minister is not Matsuma Bai-kun daughter. There is a feeling which is not trivial thing in the mind of Wakagimi, that give the flowers and autumn leaves, to show the sincerity and the light to provide the material of heinous obi. It should be noted that since the only position as a playmate had been pending, Princess also loved this cousin, such as that unexpected show the face to man, such as plane of modesty had been ignored. Also those of guardianship role that such as nanny, because this boy as the girl is there a habit of went from young days, but was looking to tolerate and cannot be separated between the suddenly strictly two people. Princess is innocent on the other hand, even in the feeling of more of the boy is progressing. It seems to have quietly led to the relationship of the lover. It became the same confined to the east of the hospital for academic. It was Ono the Wakagimi because of this thing, seems still a child, and in the letter that seems the future of progress. Letter two lovers have exchanged written by, because as to the childish people, there is a flash. There is also scattered fell in everywhere from, to see the wife with a princess. There were also those who consent or has been to the extent which two people of intimacy is. Because such a thing is not even that may appeal to people. Nobody secrets softly as it had been in secret. After the temple, the two ministers who large feast. Such is also done, and without that the unexpected must be Shitaku followed by that other events. World of quiet time, past the fall of the shower. On the Ogi on the evening of wind lonely day, Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal came to your visit to Omiya of your residence. The minister had to play the harp, such as calling the princess in your living room of the house. Mia then those who were able to you a variety of tricks. Was to if you tell me maybe the princess. There does also occur a little antipathy in woman play, but it is what aristocratic good. Really people that play the pipa is no longer so much. What prince rather than deception today? What of Genji? After the minister counted, such as, it is very skillful likely is that people who keep Daijin is in the mountain villa of. Saga is a woman, retroactively pedigree that came out of the music of genius if Mosin, but went up to the local and stragglers from Kyokan to the man's daughter. Why such good came out? Minister of Genji abuses looked as not impressed. The cage of something well Sarah the story of its people. In addition to arts and music it has changed a little nature. Listen to many, but is intended to progress all the way by getting together with a lot of people. If you are a self-study, it is rare that has reached its frequency. Quote, but also such talk. The minister was recommended to be a play you in the temple. I will not be able to think, such as by pressing the other string, while becoming your say, and also the temple became skillfully playing your harp. Because people of the mountain villa is not only a person happy, I guess excellent brainy people, had smoked that we entrust to me trying no matter how taro good when I can be a girl of that person. A lone boy girl who was given rise to think, yet as not he brought a good understanding to be the children of unhappy. I also talk about as a result of passing the child toward the venerable wife. And the thing that impressed I heard on this kind of story Omiya sported. Woman is what can get ahead no matter how in the goodness of the head. Although it is of the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal had a criticism of people, such as, it were moving into the unfortunate story of the house. Even I am not a completely Nyogo. What I intend that were not nurtured is also the daughter, such as less than human. But so you had a destiny to lose on the surprising person. Life is departing to so unexpected do and I became pessimistic. Even this child I just wanna play good luck like I think. Your ceremony of attaining manhood of the crown prince of whether would be the other of which. I had the hope in the double suicide but I because you after candidates we come to Zunes and growth from after gave birth Akashi lucky woman of today's story. When you enter the person to the seraglio, can you let alone who the competition? Quote, the minister to Tansoku Palace have a look. I always do not say that so. Things like not come out of your after from this house is that there is no absolutely I think. I was all Nasu, undertook to take care of Nyogo deceased minister in the you-going I thing. Minister would not consider these surprising results once you become to come. Omiya only in this problem became come a grudge against Genji. Princess is the Fu beautiful was small in size. 13. Luck hair playing the kodo of the Baal. The know the princess to have the minister of patiently watch the gloss elegance of such beauty. Of the face and hair of the contact point. A beautiful profile that is a little smaller body shyly. That the well is beautiful of hand movements to push the Baal is believed to picturesque. Omiya was also Fu is very cute oboshimeshi. The princess was extruding the kodo to better the previous quit playing in the degree to which the little scratching alignment. Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal is attracted Yamato kodo. A thing to the mind rather youthful song of the law of tone. This person is a virtuoso. Was the wizard very interesting flipping to play rough. When the leaves in the outside has spilled to by ones and twos. Etc. Wife that OL had listened gathered. Such as one by one several people shade of Kicho of here and there while dropping the tears in this. Music. Wind power. Capped Sukunashi. Deciduous Chiwei Yi Yun. Air Feng Noriyuki Chikara Fudagua. Pipe. Meng Chong Zhao Yang Men Air Chi. Katona Kinimo. And Minister of the Clauses of the Bunsen is humming so. It is evening shim is not a feeling of koto only. Do not become a little more play. The minister recommends to Omiya. Voice to sing while playing the autumn wind music was good. Miya people of this seat is not only your Maguna. It was also pretty oboshimeshi to a greater minister. Wakagimi of Genji came there to apply more of your satisfaction. This way, and the temple is made to you to say. Wakagimi was passed to the seat across the Kicho in your living room. You do not see you much in. Why would it become not pressed at just learning so much mukanina? But I such that nasu, so much that too can be of academic thing leads to unhappiness with a minister also your experience. I made you also to so pressing. But you'll be a divided. Just not your report have trapped like that. Quote, and Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal said, look to be different from time to time. In music that has a long history dat whistle. You such a good thing. Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal was handed the whistle to Wakagimi while saying this. Youthful for a while more of string music because of the funny whistle to make blow the cheerful sound put a stop, while the minister takes a beat not foo a great many. Ya, haggy flower, sheer. The clothes Hessen. My clothing the field was singing such as flowers sheer. Of Shinohara hagi. Daijo Daijin also like art that like our music. You become your datsuke from that of the more political. Such thing is a life. You will live to be at least like fun. Since the darkened while it is such as recommend the cup to his nephew saying the lights are carried. Hot water, pickled, and confectionery meals out to the front of everyone began. Princesses the had attributed to there anymore. By force separates the two people. The attitude of the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal to my not even be heard Wakagimi harp of sound. With each other whisper full wives of Omiya. I feel will be of occurrence of the tragedy in the near future in such a thing. Both had to say, minister show only fu go back home. Had entered the woman of the room as a lover. Softly while to narrow the body leaving the corridor. Wives of the room to talk to the love of boys to the problem was there. When asked stood still wondering. It was of itself as criticism. It is sweet to a parent even if the ARC newsletter once can. Terrible it is for you. but it is going to insidiously know the child is a lie. It is because such is not dear to the parent. Such has said he was sneaking. Miserable. It has become, in fact, was afraid of myself. Not of leaving, got hit. But he was a guard because children. Life is to be the sad thing, minister thought. Minister of all is was realized and clear. Gently I got out as it is. Though the precursor is large quantity of a collect voice to build. For the first time, wives is to know that the minister until this time has remained here. Lord is either not going to be your way now. Where the will became the command entered the corner. A new Toshi affairs to guests who do not you quit. My wife and colleagues have said. People had a stealthy story we were in trouble. It is that time very nice smell I thought that was passed by me. At all. I Wakagami had thought only that it become your street. Well, scary. What did not enter to abuse our ears. It does not necessarily also he does not behaving like a dog in the manger. Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal is only that of the daughter of love was considered in a car. But very not a bad thing. To two it is. Such as marriage of each other cousin was too common. It is also painful to be on the beginning of Yago in the world of rumors. In the competition of the Seraglio unreproachful as Genji, which was holding the Nyogo. Also that he is or not then had aspired to the crown prince that girl instead of the failure. Unexpected may good fortune therein is or there. Just one of was I think it was also destroyed was a comfort. Although the intimacy of the Genji and the minister is of doing Mutsu Magiku. As also there is the trend long ago. Strongly do not want to lose hard is by far. The minister could not even sleep until the morning with that as uncomfortable it was. Omiya also will so come and realize this situation. But because it is grandson to become a very cute you think by that selfish. Will become come to the unseen face and like the wives was the point. The minister wanted Urameshi Omiya. Minister in nature that cannot be suppressed in the inner it with the belly stand had. About 2 days to the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal was your visit to Omiya. When something like this comes out, frequently control of the temple, in good mood. You glad your appearance is suggesting. Although the format is the direction to become a nun. Hiding the forehead hair. Makeup also basa clean. Become summoned shike well as the gorgeous small Luchigi. In Minister Sunny while the child is made the same better kuo. In your appearance of truth is not your eye. Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal had a sullen face. Even now or up to here we decided embarrass feel. Wives are what put heart in wonder that it is a criticism. Boring. But I is. Among which we live is heard all the time. Unsatisfactory without not pushed to the thought. I wanted to give satisfaction at that point. But we have been able. Such as do not need to not think you Urameshiku you like for poor daughter. And it should not grudge you so seriously. But they're of trying to suppress the mind even while their own. Cannot be it. Quote. Minister turned to look at the wipe down the tears. Has changed the color of your face of makeup sported was the temple. All eyes fell on a white powder for tear also increased. There is what will you or will you lama to you from getting to this year. And to hear from beings at the temple. Saying followed was the minister for the feel of truly feel sorry. Because the thing that is your trust. And we owe Zoot the child. The parent I am or rather I do not do anything of care. Become a figure of Paimu go to intense competition of the concubines of the daughter was placed in the hand. Tired we got better things to just Oramashi bake care and worry. Here in your more than that will be troublesome. Even if we put I like that discarded. You liked as a woman of one person par with him and you pleased that I was expecting of it. Because now surprisingly, I am sorry, Minister of Genji is there than those who admirable is referred to as a guru of the world. But most of the middle of the house with each other such person view it is to be together as. It is to appear to imprudent be heard in person. Among the low status of people. Such a thing is what not to be habaka to the world. It is for that person never it may also be. You may do it happiness how much can be greeted as a son-in-law to gorgeous to it all away from home. Been taken to that's marriage was strong at the edge of the cousin. Minister of Genji also uncomfortable you I might be to think. If you have please let you know that even if we in it to me is what I referred to also good offices so there is. So stepped on a certain format. Sometimes I'll make a little better respectability I would have been able to. But you like it, just me that now self-indulgence action Zuteoki you as it is to the Toshiwaka person I think. Regret, by saying that details the minister, the house, which remains in your enlightenment for the first time the truth, because was to not you think to dream, became zit amazed, but you're most becoming to say you so. I totally think what two of the grandchildren, what you or the did not know to. I wish what will not be sorry, just as is that reproachful and is let me bear the sin in. From the time I came to hand, especially cute, you were to take care about not to think you try to so much. I'm the best woman to that person was also trying gonna worth capable of undergoing of happiness. And doting one of the grandchildren. Ashita is that still unexpected depend also think that such will forgive a marriage to a person of the boy, anyway, who is such a thing to you will said. People that the unexpected may slander. To not it is goodness aru or become stand your belly. Will also be in that would scratch the daughter of the name and that there is no. What was it that there is no nothing of? And wives also criticized, because you'll be laughing in the shade. My suicide do not have as a gentle. The minister said that was done standing. People who know the young love was sympathetic to the boys and girls that tackied up to this catastrophe. People who have the stealthy story of Senia is made to seem to get also frenzy. I was struggling to regret that it would why I was talking about Anna's secret. The princess was in not knowing anything. I saw the princess with a pretty beautiful face in the living room that except is sitting. The love of the father has sprung up deeply in the mind of the minister. Just because how much a year do not go. Do not know that it is you who have too childish mind. I the future of decent as our daughter I was thinking to many. Then you to feel better I became starry products. The minister said, and then was to blame the nanny. Nanny cannot anything defense against the minister. However, although I read like the old days of novels that such a thing is that a mistake also important. Princess like play. It is if there is a person of soba to betray your trust. Toka to your guidance towards the man. Also you happen by or something could be an unexpected chance. This thing is I'm a while became come playing also you're together all the time for many years those. Your small come to the temple like is generous to contact treatment but we had been seen as it is. And cannot be won you over. It also it was able to control distinction be distinctly daily from around 2 years ago. Also saying that it is the same young people since even the like sloppy with no bad seal was up. Such people a little know. It has decided the guard at all. Quote, I had just have had 10 on their own fellow and the like. In this it will keep for a while secret. Although reputation is something that stand no matter how you. At least to you guys. It fold the bone is good to be a negative and not a fact. Among them brought to my residence to go. I such because courtesy of the house like there is not enough. Dat what how much ye also would not want it in familiar way. Quote, when the minister says, nanny us, while I think to feel sorry that be the case taken to come of Omiya, was also delighted as lights in the house were put upright. Even if there is Hidara-sama. What you will find in her also thought we that heard of to Dainagan house. Also no matter how the personality you find, we like to become Atsuki to just your edges say hope so there is no say, princess at all innocent, even if the commandments. The minister to look at not likely to understand even Ikun began to cry. What food should I sukuro the appearance in order to avoid this person to starry was. Minister of 2, was for 3 people in tribute. These people were Iya the only that Omiya attitude was not my best regards. Omiya has been made to come sad this scandal for 2 grandchildren. Whether the heart will love you more of Wakagimi among them was strong, cute, and whether to be able to, such as another so grown up was love there was no also not to think you cannot even be sports affirm the words of the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal told as absurd. Necessarily my is the case. The child was not of much affection, for now he'll carefully nurtured, aspiring, such as that the concubines of the crown princes also was supposed to be with his father. It is cannot be realized, if the fate that must be an ordinary marriage. Do not you have a son-in-law with superior more than the eldest son of Genji? There is no reason that the equivalent of the young nobleman to say from what, including the appearance, and I think that must have a low son-in-law if the more valuable is from your affection is not a somewhat fair, but was of so come a grudge against minister. Let alone the minister if was aware of this your mood of the house would be to resentment you. Wakagimi of Genji came in without knowing that there is such a commotion with his own thing. One last night to have a lot people, from the fact that we could not see the lover, appears to be those that came went out in the evening becoming Miss Hirao Miya after it has become joy you sporting a very you're joyful your face comes to pick up the child, which sported to talk at Fu serious today. Come Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal by you. I was sorry because I had to say the Urameshi likely to be up to me. Not good that you started. Not the people in order that becomes unhappy. I want something like this to say although he does not. That there was of such a thing. I think that as you are not do not know. Quote, it became your say-on. It is there because I have been guilty in the boy's conscience. It was found that the truth of the immediate problem. Wakagimi is blushed. What s? From his mashy withdrawal to a quiet place. No one because even I do not have anything of the negotiations. And should not be, such as harm the feelings of his uncle like I think. The poor Mia looks so that it does not bear the shame to say that was oboshi meshi. Because oh well, I click on your care from now on. Become only you say that. After became Zip transferred the story to another. When I think that would be to become more difficult, round trip of the letter is the future. The heart of Wakagimi went dark, while the shofu went to sleep early without eating too much even out dinner. Wakagimi that had somehow become obsessed by I will allow to the lover is, and the living room of the princess is sure to allow time when everyone was asleep but tried to open the fusumako between. Hirao has had no partition be applied separately from tablets, etc. And each other as kusur is a shikado tonight. Not hear the sound of the person on the other side. Wakagimi has made kokorobasoku, and are leaning on fusumako. Princess even though awake. The wind is a ringing to soyo perched on bamboo garden, and or hear the faint voice that goes through the sky of the wild goose. I think the shim to the body and innocent people is what is in the chest. Had been humming the wild goose of Kumoy also ya every time I sadness Carlin of fog deep Kumoy of wild goose also products without also each and sunny hour. This date as Rashiku was a very pretty girl. Anxiety of the Wakagimi is soliciting. Please open here, small chamberlain is not I. And he said, there is no answer person anything. Sho Samuraito is the daughter of the nanny of the princess. Also ashamed was asked to herself. Princess but was I suffered to face the nightclothes. In the heart had NDE mercy lover. As an adult, Mahirogi such as not sleeping in the place near the nanny is also cannot be easily. Both at just the two of people remained silent. Right-wing style of Utate Fuki so Fuogi to friends and over wild goose roots in the middle of the night is. I return to the one in which Shim to learn Wakagimi ma while toward the temple of your living room. But the house a breath to get to Tansoku is refrained from Weathergrave to hear as your awakening. Was sleeping while Mahirogi, Wakagimi is embarrassed without divided. Going up early to more of their own living room. But wrote a letter. It is not possible to also meet in small chamberlain, which is a two allies. Also to go toward the parlor of princess it was the agony without requiring or even scolded by his father, more of a woman, and only ashamed that you have her in the problem from everyone. Myself, and it happens also. Deeper and go happened is that people do not think, and two people snuggled up beautifully, that it is wrong to talk of love. It did not seem ugly. In such a case was nostalgic, although not appear to be if Shido be hype so to everyone. In after being told the terrible scolding from such as nanny, it could not be sent to write a letter. Adult would not be impossible to capture the gap among such. But Wakagami, also the boy's opponent, just was only regretted, Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal. But as not to the call on you alone with it, I thought very Urameshiku the temple. The wife did not talk about this time of the incident of the Princess of Kalikumoi, but just Piki had been in a bad mood. In this case that Nakamaya was Nasu, the court filled after Reiko in a gorgeous ritual. Because Nyogo was dying, I think whether residing in May was feeling at the same imperial palace. I want to feel free to play at home by leaving. Indeed, His Majesty made to your treatment so as not to release you a buckwheat you, because he is up to your office on the day and night as well, such as wives, because it pain that must have just nervous. Quote, Minister has told the wife was suddenly asked permission to free of Nyogo exit to the Emperor. You're because I was deep person of favor. But Gataku Emperor forgive your spare time is of the Oboshi Meshi. The minister started to say a lot of things because you tried to penetration the will. Emperor was reluctantly forgiveness Asabasa. Minister in the back was Nyogo to Jitai. Since would be boring. May leave like to play together is called the there of the princess. While that you Ozuke the temple there is like a peace of mind. Because my wife at the effect of a year is too much over there. It has been assimilated pigeon gone young people of modesty. Because it has become longer such a thing even in the year around that must be considered. Quote, to say such a thing. It decided to suddenly greet the Kalikumoi. Omiya is made to drop the force. From the death of a girl who was just one person to the place I wanted loneliness and a lonely feel. Because you have me brought the princess. I like the treasure that can be enjoyed looking at a lifetime thought to have been taken care of by. You feel reproachful and I think no longer be trusted to you as in this year's. When would you say that? The minister said, Kashikoma. It was a regrettable care. You will find that only I mentioned the truth on the spot. Things like you like the not said by me your credit. Daughter that available to you and some things in there you do. Imperial Palace. Why? This section is fu is not a lot of cheerful, because we are back to the mansion. And now they're pathetic that bored. I was wondering if it could live playing together. There's the smitten temporarily brought. Also, your favor of your child's support today does not let never forget. Both said, I know the house that it is not a nature that recalls also suffice be decided this just was only. Sorry Oboshi Meshi be. Thing called people. It's what not you can expect much here to be those that love no matter how. Whether the young couple is not the case. To me or not had caused the major events to hide. It is still by the minister of grudge against me while stomach fine finished person. Will be performed by something like this to bring the princess to go to there and not think that there is a more peaceful day to be here. Quote, while becoming your cry, it became this come to say the temple wives. Just Wakagami came to there. It is coming out well these days and whether or not there is also a little bit of space. Saw the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal of the car is stopped. Wakagami you feel bad rule in the hearts of demons. Was hidden commented softly to himself in the living room. Left Major General is the sons of the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal. Shonigan, Hioe Adjuvants, Chamberlain, have found that Sachayu is also coming to your this mansion. To enter into the mistake is not allowed. Same in Governor. But Quan Chunagon, brother of the Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal that such was the one who was born from another of his mother. Came from the relationship deceased Daijo Daijin had take the parent-child bow to the temple. Represent an even respect now te. But then it is entering and leaving even the children, who were also to was not the Wakagami as the beautiful face of Genji, was the unparalleled your grandson also be the love you the house. To the other was your grandson that has been pour deep your affection been raised in only. Goose of Kumoy our hand, supposed to become away by this sudden, to become your lonely temple became come and Heptan, minister, and we came a little to the imperial palace, I will koyo to meet in the evening. Saying went out, and it may be a marriage by the addition of embellishment to the fact it had appeared also in the mind of the minister, but still disappointing feeling to win. When I was also considerable government history anyway. Love to daughter also look at the depth of shallowness. When I get married also trim the format and to forgive, even if the strict supervision there is put in place, which is also the man of the house. The young each other to that of self-indulgence must me even if you think this way because it will not also boss as trying by force Saishio have entrusted their lives to Surezure of Nyogo, minister about to leave to under the guise of light seal also to the Prime Minister's office also. Toward the house and it is. Mia has become write a letter to Kali Kumoy. Minister does not know whether a grudge against me, but you, I would have, no matter how no I love you. Please come to see you here. According to your words of the house, beautifully dressed decorate the princess came out. Year is 14 are, although not completely still be in the adult. A person with children Rishiku quiet beauty, that all the time look at beside you. But he was my not help but unexpected comfort. Will it be lonely is gone? I am because it is old. Not seen your Oosaki when the will. It is what wanted Coco Roboso the life of the no. I do not become a poor and I think you're going place and somewhere broke up with me. Quote, Mia were become your cry to say. When I think Kali Kumoy is for your tan out of the cause of the grandmother of the house has become their love problems, and not be bear the sense of shame. I did nothing but crying cannot be increased even face. It came out you of the Prime Minister of the nanny of Wakagami. There at Wakasama and unfortunate is that's your together of my master just as such becomes it. And I was going to think up to now. Lord is now sported trying to be so pressed for your marriage and those of other also. Asobase so as not to become you follow the, and say, such as in a low voice. I think more and more embarrassed. Wild Goose of Kumoy is not true of things. Only such a tedious story it is better not to as. Edge do not know because I have been determined from previous students everyone. And Mia is your say. But Lord is because let there then sports despise the Wakasama to Oboshi Meshi that it is poor. Well in advance to see Princess Asobase. Whether towards my better of Wakasama as decoy behind the people. Kuchioshi wants to have a nanny is to say also such a thing. Wakagimi has been looking at a lover come into back of Kicho. That if you do not imminent of other things such as be ashamed of the person. That the now crying to not think such a thing. Nanny is poor I think the, I would like a good appearances to the temple. And the two people on the evening of dark unmistakable to bubble in the other room. Two people went crying to not even say things in embarrassment and shame. Since the uncle-like attitude is reproachful. But also miss I think let's forget you. Not with worry and it's not meet would be. No matter how painful from now. By the time that I can of the things that meet if met I often I would not have come. Quote, the appearance of the man say, there are things that hit the young in heart. I would also be painful, I'm sure. Consisting you think you would miss. And when the man says, nodding to Fu Young Kali of Kumoy, the parlor is lit a lamp. From the temple I heard the voice of a collect to make the exaggerated a person of the minister of the precursor. Wife says, come on. When the Sawagi Dasu, Wild Goose of Kumoy is out trembling once fear. The man made to feel that good. Even if the other is not to try to kiss the princess. Came to looking for the nanny of the princess. Was the first time know the two people of the meeting. It will be damned that what? Still the house is to think that one was not did not become to know. Nanny did not have your meshiku. become a really well sad. Lord, is you angry? What can only fool that mare will you started to say, and would be made to think you do not you become to hear this in Dainagan home. Young nobleman, and even if you have become, and who first lord of 6th place who of Asagi, it was to also hear voices that say, Nanny, to come to the back of the folding screen that are of immediate 2 people is to have spilled. When I think Wakagimi is, are you insulting to say that low their place suddenly in life have seemed to those nasty. Love was also felt that a little wake. I am saying, Sora do that. Deep should be Oroshi torque control in ya light green the color of the sleeve to the tears of Kurenai. Do not be ashamed, quote, and say, variously clothing in Karu diet how is Ruru known enough to float in the body. And the unexpected to say whether the wild goose said of Kumoi. Since the other minister came into the house, stood up as wild goose of Kumoi is, and unsightly also ashamed that I was left behind, while Fusagara the chest in grief. Wakagimi has entered to its own living room, where it was trying to Netsuko. Since the princess of the line and rode in the car of about 3 cars was sad painful to Wakagimi. Also hear the sounds that seems to go gently out of the mansion, from your living room of the house. And so come, in Taurus you to pick up wife when it was also. I did not even Mahirogi by the Fu slept. Tears only became Akatsuki not sleep the wink to not still stop. Wakagimi by the time White Frost was carried out hastily went out. Though embarrassed to be seen the Nikiharashi eyes to the people. The temple is because the will being going surely to call to Bukui. It is became tempted to go to the carefree place. Wakagimi even in the car were to feel the sadness of love torn came home. But the sky is also cloudy badly. Was still dark lonely dawn. Shimakura Utatensu wonder if sky Kakiku Rashi falling tears of dawn gray. I thought this kind of song. Genji was put out one of the dance princess of Section V of this year. Without that big deal Shitaku. But had to prepare so an attendant costume of Dojo Day approaches. Hanachi Sato wife of the east of the hospital. The night to enter into the dance princess royal court. Had not made it hand assumes the attendant wives of costumes. In the article of the hospital is to have made the costume of one wave throughout. Also from Nakamaya Dojo, the wife several people are of clothing Shimizuke. It became your donation made to the delicate. Last year, there is also blame was not of the 5 festivals in Rioan. Because nobody is a year that is not dance your heart to 5 festivals approaching. Flashy is contested in some places that put out underwriting one by one the 5 people of dance. Princess had a reputation of being an Chayu's Dainagan daughter. It was supposed to be like Leaps the daughter of the governor Saman. Then to the one who put out Dancing Princess out of the palace circle's officials. Now it was supposed to be the daughter of Yokioshi Asen, which also serves as the left in the valve in Mamoru Omi. This year's Dance Princess was to be adopted as it is followed by the lady. It is said to be put out to spare no beloved daughter. Genji to my princess out from itself. It chose a child, which is said to be beautiful and Waiguang daughter is set Sumamorukan Sakyo Deu. Waiguang is one and annoying. When Dainagan issues to the princess dance the daughter of Shofuku. Not a shame it issued a your precious daughter. Been blamed. Is Waiguang you've in trouble, and I give up because it is a point in the guarantee to become a lady. It was decided to follow the master's orders, etc. Maya of practice in Narawasi well at home. Senna dance princess directly only several people of the so-called Kashizuki to take care with the Joes in the house. To the first day evening around the 2 articles of the hospital of it was the dojo several people, because Shimizuke several people is needed in attendance, was supposed to be out calling 2 articles of the hospital. A person who was good through the east of the hospital from among many. Everyone came together. I think the honor to be selected accordingly. Majesty is the practice of the day to visit the only dojo of Section V. Trying to decide and see to walk the edge Genji was in. No children. such as may be allowed to defeat. Genji was at a loss rather to have a beautiful face and what it is distinctive to each. The dojo of the other one-person escort I will serve from the better of me. He was laughing and so on. And the goodness of the intercession of the body after all was supposed to be a person with good composure of goods is taken. The wakagimi of university students in the chest is close to the sorrow of a broken heart. What to even make mind about not able to have interest? The unexpected may be the mood of the more not of the mind. Also read books is somewhat comforted. Night 5 section. I had gone to the article of the hospital. Their appearance has settled down well, because I was a boy of gloss of appearance, and having adoration from such a young wife. The better you are the Mrs. Genji, so it's not so much sit also to previous mistakes is to handle. Genji is weather the danger once by their own experience, because there was in that way. But wives even it's not even a person who friends with wakagimi. Seems things went entered also into the room due out of congestion today. Lower word-plated princess arrived in a car, in the parlor of the place of Sumato, and the enclosure in such folding screen, that the had been put into temporary rest stations of dance princess. Wakagimi is except softly from behind a folding screen look it was. Princess dancing in the painfully headlong sideways body. It was just as much around the year in Kali Kumoi, a little taller than that. The point on the vivid beauty to the overall appearance seemed even to that person or more, although the well because it was dark is not visible. Happy as that around year seems a lover in about the same. Is also interested in this, but it's not necessarily mood love was being held. Wakagimi tried by the sound by pulling the toe of the garment. Look at the suspiciously wet face it. Not stunning. Gungnyo of Masu in heaven Toyokahime also in Wangru the closing aspiring Mai. Of Mizugaki I come for the first time Omoi then Hisashiki world. Quote, said that, but like the fact that the rod from the bush. It has a youthful and beautiful voice. But can also shed think princess dance to do who you are. When you think Himiwaru ku, to fix the makeup of the face. In order to woman of noisy facilitator came also several people. Wakagimi walked out of the room while I think sorry. It is a hate to wear Boric of Asagi. Wakagimi but did not even to go to the Imperial Palace. On the occasion of the 5 festivals. So that in and out to the court wearing a heel of the favorite color Wakagimi was allowed. It was also carried out from the night to the Imperial Palace. Still petite teenager had around and play for the Imperial Palace Rashiku young children of nobles. Many of those who love you this person as including the emperor. Your such is no kind as in addition to Wakagimi the grace wear ode to the body. The ritual entering the Imperial Palace in uniform dance princess of Section V. But what dancing princess was also not elaborate dress up. Beautiful point minion of Genji. And dance princess of Dainagan or excellent young officials were praised. But it was also actually 2 people clean. Have superior spacious beauty is still dancing princess of Genji was. The more of Dainagan is as fell short. Clean, contemporary, feel good you make not like such thing as a dancing princess of Section B was not praised this. Than usual of dancing princess was dancing princesses of 5 festivals that do not so mukative. Been expected from the front a little larger. Genji was also biking with palace visit, but remembered the old days the girl princess dance of Section V has caught the eye. In the evening of the Dragon of the Day to the 5 festivals of Dani Genji wrote a letter. Content is not also not be imagined. Rashi unexpected also Kamisabio heavens one sleeve old world of friend Otomego is if wet through. Shed. 5 festivals is thought the length of the years up to today. It is just that the mood became the thing pathetic Genji told to write to the old self. Which only on their own that must be enjoy that of Ihakan and that. Also Poppy and on the sleeves of Frost Thinko loose state cage each and that of today if the words. Over. Loose lighting of the small memorial of Ninamesay was the pattern. The paper suitable for this case. The letter of Chinese characters often that showed interest in the so mix of light and shade as well, was a letter of good reply of feeling that was suitable for women of the class. Wakagimi also look especially of dance a beautiful house of the 5 festivals where I garden. There is one to create the opportunity to say what, but were to try to go to around the dressing room, so as not ask people to place close vigilance because there was the yellow tail. This person of around a lot of shame year only to Tansoku had to divert it, rather it has been forgotten was the beauty, the comfort of mind that is not meet the reproachful people had wanted to get that person to love her. But there was the Seth of the to the dance princess remained all the royal court of the service of the section V, once by all exit, Mamoru Omi of the Karasaki, a child of the Mamoru Setsuhopen went to the exorcism in Naniwa I returned to the home. Gainagan was also Sojo the give to Miyazaki in a different format. Same in supervision became a problem that it issued to the 5 festivals as the daughter of the person who is not a daughter. But now that it may also be employed to Lady Waiguang was offered should be adopted daughter to replenish. You of love one is job of the maid of honor. Genji also that it is to feel that may be doing the preferential treatment in the way you want. Wakagimi thought sorry to hear. His is not such a boy. Unless they are placed in 6th place class. Is not in such lady. Although they get tolerate cohabitation is begging to father of the minister. Is that it currently impossible? Whether to finish without just also known heart to think miss. But was not a big deal I think. Along with the tears to flow thought the wild goose of Kumoy was also spilling tears of its better. A child of Waiguang to fetch a carefully Shinrei also Wakagimi brother of section V. Wakagimi there was one day said in after doing talk intimately to more than hero. The 5 festivals are entering the time Imperial Palace. It is that's out of this year. I came to like that person because the face was good. You're the envy because it will be seen every day because it is sister. But do not show me again to me. Such a thing. You cannot see something I that often face. Just because a man's brother. Things you do not fun things to buckwheat too. Such as to show you like you choose it. It is useless. Say. Then me go also have a letter. Saying. Wakagimi handed the letter to the child of Waiguang. In the past also. But it is I think annoying as it was the will to this kind of role is scolded always at home. And as Wakagimi is a pity so was done with all means. The child was back with the house. 5 festivals is what had mazed in a year. Was delighted the letter of Wakagimi. The beautiful stacked paper of green Asuki-sama. Character is likely still children. It is written well felt in good future of muffled character. Day over a period of she mind of feather sleeves Shirukari Kimanoto Mego is heaven to cages. Sister and brother came out Waiguang adult father rather stunning to where you are reading this letter together. Hides it also had a young brother and sister. Not be horribly. It is whose letter? Look at the father to take in hand. My sister younger brother also became red. I was not good use. It is dear and calling the child to let escape. I was asked from whom. Waiguang said, because those Wakagimi of the Lord as you say I come. When asked to answer in Waiguang it is neither like a man was angry until now, turned to smile. What a cute naughty, are you not that all of the children still in the same age, such as it praised the, even his wife was to show the letter. By giving you a feel for love these young noblemen. I'm much want will raise wits more than to the Atsutom just a lady. See your personality of the Lord and the love relationship more became Atsukuri the. From more of your own to become a throwaway, your opponent seems absolutely not. I also wonder if become priest of Akashi. Waiguang was saying in the like but I went to stand all the children. Wakagimi did not can also send a letter to Kali Kumoy. Although the two of love. Suffering from a heart just out of one of the heavier. Taken misses stand over time. The Lord of the vestiges that do not leave the front of the eye. Can also be referred to meet again or the only unexpected is to Witherton. Do not go out too much sad without divide. It is also possible to go to your residence of the grandmother's house, parlor who lived with that person. Look at, such as playing together from childhood room. Only Sunaru of tightness in the chest. Made Murasaki also house itself. Also it had been holed up just to study plants. Genji is in Flower Chisato, wife of the same east of the hospital. I asked to take care of Wakagami as a mother. Because Omiya's our year is our year. When it may what happens to your will. You're hungry, and I think that after that became. Thus keeping conditioned from childhood. The best become your nasty, I think. And Genji was to say. This man of straightforward nature. From the habit of absolute obedience to the word of Genji. Was gently take care of love Wakagami. Wakagami was also able to see a hint the face of his wife of the foster mother. Not good is your face. Father, this kind of person is it is possible that you are his wife. Also cannot be cut off the obsession in the face of their own as reproachful people. Probably because not your heart is finished. The woman and the couple of these friendly nature and I would be happy when he will. But I thought Wakagami such a thing. But will become sorry when is that facing his wife if not too beautiful face. While has become such a long relationship. Ugliness become a point of appearance. Fukin admitted the beauty point of nature. Is like a married couple living in the sparse. Seems to be doing their favor as much as possible to the treatment of as a wife. I thought it was the Wakagami also to be the reasonable way. Until such a thing is also that this boy was he observed. Omiya it is so come become Amasugata was still your beautiful. I thought because the other anywhere considerable appearance see of this person was the wife who are gathered. The face of the woman is what everyone clean and had is. Flower Chisato a not beautiful person from the time when young is. The face which declined to and women of prime becomes a thing for that lean. To see that her hair also has become less. Something like this it is think. Omiya the costume of the new year at the end of the year was also Basa Shitaku just for Wakagami. They are finished with beautiful spring clothes several kasane. Wakagami was also feel unpleasant to watch. That New Year's Day, although I'm not necessarily to palace visit. What you gratuities. So prepare one for. Do you think that there is such a thing? Say things like Kruk old up. There is no in old powerlessness of Kruk is felt to myself. Wakagami was not weeping saying to himself. When the will of his sad a broken heart. The temple was also basa lonely your face and pathetic a look. What that man, guy, he kind of low status. Mood is only intended to have high. I like to do not show as such a seal that was too much may. Do you not nothing valuable enough so convinced? Although it's not separate, because then the people despise it sixth place. It is you know the thing of for a while. But I care about going to the imperial palace does not proceed with it. Your grandfather like once but now come on. People even in Hutan will not something despise me. But is your father of the true, and is given to you treat me. Do not only think that you started to formally heavy article of the hospital, such as in the thing I like getting so popular as one of the family cannot be absolute. Just east of the hospital you will be able to Roshiku child of that person. Pair of West mothers only. Please gently as you. If one more person in my mother of the true, I would what other happiness by itself. But your grandmother like, it is to see that the poor little of the manner in which diverting the flow of tears. The house became your cry spilled tears to by ones and twos. Things that a child who lost a mother. But he is everyone such a lonely think through each class. To anyone if there is a thing called their own destiny. Once you get ahead in each. Such as a human to contempt since I do not. I'd better not think about it. Your grandfather like is it I wish I smoked it going to be alive anymore. Even for a while. Because you are your father a come. Love much your grandfather like is able over to you although we believe that it's a thing that does not go the way I think. Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal also have been said in public as a fine person of character. I also gone go of the old days peace happiness. Such as what does so would. I would just give up and to live a long life of crime. Younger people like. And something like this will Murasaki and I think the world that even a little pessimistic. Quote. And the temple became come crying. New Year's Day also Genji was peaceful because there was no necessity of going out. An old example has given the Minister of Preventive. Came drawn Hakuba 7 days to 2 articles of the hospital. It was a majestic expression that was done to the imperial court as expected. There was Miyuki de Suzaku Council on February 20 several days. In the prime of cherry tree had not yet made. But March is because I was Goki month of the Queen Mother. Is that this month was chosen. Sakura of early flowering is in bloom. Longer spring was already beautiful. Also towards the hospital to become a pickup there was a variety of your preparation. Kenkan to the being in attendance on the Miyuki also prince who also became Kumpei a struggle. Such as the dress of the day. The person who was using the Sakuraka saying under the all blue. Emperor was the red of your clothes. Minister of Genji was the upper house if there is a dressing. Because was are wearing the same red. Looks the same as the emperor. It was shining beauty of Genji. State of the people who came to your banquet also attitude also looked sophisticated very well. Hospital was also Asobasa become your increasingly Kyoshitsuya figure. Do not become a professional poet in inviting today. I was calling a dozen college students found the shisai. This the people gave me the title of the lyrics in place of the test of Shikibu ministry. This is what has become your good offices deliberately for the eldest son of Genji. Such as care of the weak students have had also to the defense. Was suffering from production in the water that came out aboard the ship that has been released into the pond of your garden. Is late afternoon, and traffic the ship pond loaded with music person. When you are standing below mix a musical tone to Yamakaze. Walk again me then there is a way that also does not progress the so painful way to exhibit their talent. Worth Allah but the thought your Meshiku. When it is danced at Harugai's USA Zoo. Emperor of the hospital that day of the feast of the old days of the cherry blossoms is made to remember you. I think not seen another Anna interesting. And although it was so to Genji love of youth from its tale words, it became a thing pathetic mood in Shinobu in the spree. Genji sang my raise the cup to the hospital. Crane's spring tool of the nightingale is swelling change each shadow of much or city flower in the old days. Hospital is the voice of the nightingale come told that spring to shelter Suru it to haze Kokono. And it became the answer. Who was said to be the temple of Dazai Sochi is become Sir Hyobu. But Kenji the cup to his majesty. Unexpected hara changed to the sound of the crane bird to be in the blowing dene upcoming futake. Ainishihei, your state of the temple, which was Sojo this song was especially fine. Emperors to get you a cup. Sing the old nightingale take koihi the upcoming sweat and trees jutafu flower color. To become Lord said as gravely was Ketakaka, with this Miyuki in your homely your event. Whether such blame was not in that aeration ritual. Song of or the day officer who everyone was not then was presentation of poem lyrics song has not been placed aright than justice. In order to far is Sagaku office. Not dutiful fine musical sound. Musical instrument has been called to you. Hyobu Lord of the Temple is Biwa. Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal is Wagon. 13. By stringing his gift to the side of the Emperor of the hospital. Koto became the role of Genji as in the example. In all virtuoso, it became the exquisite ensemble music. To each other is selected the palace circles officials to serve the role to sing. On name Mikoto is first sung. Then cherry people came out. Moon is a beautiful night at the garden out to Obororo. Bonfires was so hot here and there in the Pernakajima. Then I have finished another ensemble. Then it was till late at night. But then Oboshi Meshi also is that callous that no Asobasa please visit the Queen Mother on this occasion. Emperor to your Karigaki became around you to the palace of the better that. Genji is also had my to the attendant. Fudo Shikasaki became pick up very pleased to become at another very emperor, even if the look is made to remember you go Hahamaya. Was sorry Obo Shimeshi, and though there are also those who are this kind of longevity, I have become to the other old man. Though we have I like as I forgot all of the past. From the fact that we received waste your visit, it concealed the old days of the reign. And Fudo Shikasaki became crying, since now your parents' early collapse, but had been seen lonely so as not to be in the spring of the spring. Let's enough we enjoyment. Also interviewed for the first time in the spring today. And His Majesty begone. Genji also yurt was the greeting. In addition to we waiting upon another day. Sight go to surrounds of all the officials and gorgeous the imperial carriage of the tourist is. Even when it is imagined sound of things. Fudo Shikasaki became regret the non-past of your own attitude. Genji what became ashamed and would have thought the old self. Luck to have the people that govern a country is. Also became your enlightenment and is stronger than any sui physician. Shoji of Oborizukyo even in the midst of a quiet hospital. From time to time I think of the past. Seemed to be the shim to where the old days is still of love that was Genji. Genji even recently were a you correspondence entrusted to conveniently. Fudo Shikasaki politics in your toga when it comes to have a human. When that does not pass through the Obo Shimeshi Mr. Toga for the operation of Kanshaku that the limited so come and given your own recommendation rights. Pathetic to live long last days now started to say things like that suffer. Was unreasonable begone control. In accordance with the so come take a year. Strong your temperament was fu become troubled even hospital become more and more strongly. Kimiko of Genji was able to become Shinji well the results of the day. It was hid in the examination of the answer chosen people of the great scholar. However, passing mark is the only had 3 people, and Wakagimi was nins to the Chamberlain at the time of the fall of dividing ice. Then as there is no time to forget the goose of Kumoi. But to also Urameshi-ku minister is closely monitored. Was not even to try if there was an unreasonable letter only were you 2 people a painful love, such as that sent to make a convenience. Genji is a house that can quiet life, to create as wide as possible interesting, or severally. For example, saga, such as people of Sanso also have a desire to live together. 6 article former residents of Nakamaya the size of the Kyogoku of a 4-cho tetrahedron per. There was had by erecting a shinte in the region. Since Shikibu Lord of the Temple next year was to become your 50. Purple Mrs. saw that as a shitaku I wanted the banquet. It Genji also it. Not have to at all costs I think that is. If such a formula is also as much as possible is better to be in shinte. It was also hastened the building for this purpose. Genji had prepared 50 of your moth temple devoted from ringing in the spring. That of the Feast of the Drop Memorial. Music person at that time. Dances, such as the selection of people that are underwriting of Genji. Incidental to the production of Kyokon and Buddha statues of Buddhist memorial service the day is done. The fuse issue to the monks of the memorial service clothes such memorabilia of the fireman's standard head to the general public was to his wife has been prepared by tilting the force. Also in the east of the hospital I was helping to share the work. The Queen of Flowers Chisato wife and purple with each other to a beautiful relationship with pity each other. Until the world has become to hear also the temple of Shikibu Lord that of large gimmick a banquet that appear to be fussing for this purpose. So far the only becomes Kumbintor at Suzuka ruthless attitude to those who is a Genji with an open mind, such as the affectionate father of the surrounding of your own and your own also for the who is in a position of Genji come to, and will the reproachful it was in the past. Now I think you also too late sorry for Genji couple of that era, but became and painful once the current situation. There are also several people of Genji men if there is a queen and the beloved wife in the that person is also not a moderate comparable to that of the high level of interest and respect from the world as a daughter. Whether also to those that happiness is unexpected is divided into self. The honor of autologous it was to come to think that there is no difference in that. And this time of the banquet is, since it is became to know that preparing to do our unprecedented yoshimi under the force of Genji has been furnished, is allowed to inspiring and receive the honor of stunning unexpected old age but become. Mrs. The Temple was wondering uncomfortable. Also in competition of concubines of Nyogo that Genji is not out to sympathetic attitude. It Iser finally once Urameshi, and finished erecting of Roku joined in August. Genji was supposed to be transferred from the article of the hospital. Since the southwest is the place where there was the old residence of Nakamaya, there is supposed to be your residence of the temple. South of the east is a place inhabited by Genji. Northeast of the whole area is in the east of the hospital flower Chisato. Northwest as had been made decided to Akashi wife. And bad as breaking of a pond and rockery also convenient from the original appearance of the water. Mountain of flavor also once again is the garden, which put the hope of various live lord has made. South of the east mountain is high. Hananoki of spring it was so countless planted. Pond is not possible especially naturally. At the close implantation is Goyo, red plum, cherry, wisteria, bright, and mainly to the Iwatsutsuji. The fall of vegetation in it are mixed and horny. To your residents of the town under the rockery of Nakamaya. In addition planted beautifully shim autumn leaves. It is a tool, such as sounds far away is clear of the sound of the fountain. Stone, such as flow make a beautiful sound has been accompanied in the water. Drop the waterfall. In the back are continued autumn of Kusano, because I was just a season. Aesthetics of the canopy of the field of saga as I knew I would be content for this purpose. North of the east there is a cool fountain. Here it had become a summer garden. The front yard of the parlor is planted with a lot of kurataki. Coolness of the lower air is likely, if there is a tree with deep back, such as the big tree of the forest, such as the countryside seems to Hana fence it had been deliberately made. Old seems Hanatachibana, pink, rose. It had been also arranged things of spring and autumn in the planted vegetation, such as tree red. Place facing east had especially become Baba Temple. The garden is tied as a lachi. Ice are able to may have play location to each other and Iris causes Shigella. Just horses had been kept in the stables of the opposite. Although the northwest of the town are lined up all the way warehouse on the north side. The fence of spaced planted karatake. The pine trees of many is to enjoy the snow. Fence of chrysanthemum that stops the first frost at the beginning of the winter. Cheerful Hosahara, its addition to the had been come to be transferred and those Shigerua, well too much branches may be of the mountain, such as not of the tree name. Around Kazuya Genji of the autumn equinox went moved to Roku join. It's all at one time to the first Genji I thought, but I thought to be a great many-ish. Was it allowed to extend us a little bit to become a Goyu of Nakamaya? Meek. It was transferred flowers to Sato that do not generate ego from the east of the hospital on the same day. Spring of residence although that does not now of the season looks the most excellent as a whole. Also was here, by the number of cars is 15, and many for position ranked 5th in the precursor. Not only was added by a special nepotism 6th place of the person. Taizara Shikumeda did not avoid the Genji of another person of Mrs. Precursor other did not drop too much. Chamberlain of the eldest son was visible because it has become a child of his wife and is that the most wives of the arrangement of the room. Is that is such that they can be more divided to bits and pieces of the room number of excellent architecture of Shinte. 5. Nakamaya became come to exit from the imperial palace to 6 days. The ceremony was also those fancy indeed, in addition to the patron happiness that those who were to come to the Genji kindness and integrity of your personality. Was it great you after like that, so come to give a shubo. Dwelling divided into the floors where using a fence partitioning. Mixed in komogomo well as where it continues with the corridor as the one big aesthetic reformed. In September it is colored another autumn colors as the horny. Before the garden of Nakamaya has become very beautiful. The evening on the day of the balloon of the wind, Nakamaya were to become the gift you to purple wife put a variety of autumn flowers, autumn leaves. On the lid of the box, wearing a little big of dojo is a deep red paw, wearing down the clothes of Shein color thick fabric. Red in the figure was above the decayed leaves color of the sweat gen. Beyond the arched bridge of the street Watadono, the edge side of the aisle have it came. Although your after is the thing that does not also basa in case formal that you use the dojo. The temple is of the oboshi meshi when their dainty appearance over other use. Children who are accustomed to Otsudome of the imperial palace. Was also visible intercession of refined only that unlike the outside of the dojo. Your letter is. Garden waits sincerely spring, Semites in the go-between of the wind the autumn colors of our inn. Was because young wives had mode hayashir. From here to the lid of the box, it laid the moss below. Was to return the head laid the rock. Was attached to the branches of the 5-leaf is. Autumn leaves that fall in the wind calcium misi with spring of the color over the pine iwane. Was a song of his wife called. The rock was a fake if you look well. Genji to the talent of Mrs. Ready to of this idea had to admire. Wives as also are all amused. Because what is your boast of the gifts of autumn, autumn leaves? Let the raise you to say that for this to the flowering of spring. To abuse these days autumn leaves ought to refrain from the Tatsuahime. What was the cherry blossom in the background when it is another it will be said to be strong that. Speaking, is something like this of Genji couple unabated of the forever young and mind have each other in. The play of wind flow and Nakamaya as a person of the same Roku join. Oi's wife after having undergone completely as Watamashi of other wife, and their worthless is not when it will be moved pulling softly, was came in October to Roku join. Facilities in the house also. Genji also of ceremonial equipment of coming move the day did not inferior to other wife. It was handled gravely from welcomed because believes that the future of the princess. Thank you for your viewing. If you like please subscribe to the channel. I am very encouraged.